focal reducer number 2, and focal reducer number 2 with 10 millimeter. Without, with, without, and with. So we definitely gain a lot more. Wow, I've never seen M42 that small in my 16 inch. Okay, now here's the trick. We're going to need to increase exposure here. So to try to detect a little bit of coma, I suspect we'll have it on the right hand side and the upper right. And the reason I think I do have the camera with, because of the electric focuser that I have is not lined up properly. So I have a small tilt. Oh yeah, this is on a 16 inch LX200 F10. So 4,064 millimeter. So this focal reducer really, really did it. Now, let's go to a little bit longer exposure, folks. I want to pay attention to the stars on the right. I expect we're going to get coma, but I think it's because my camera's not lined up in the electric focuser properly. There is a tilt.
10 millimeter. I mean, I wonder what his f-stop is now.
Oh, dummy I am. There you go.
10 millimeter space.
You really need to take an image at
okay,
F10.
do we have any coma? I think it's more tracking error. On top is okay, on the left is okay, the bottom they're shaped differently because they're pointing towards the outer, the other way.
How much focal
Weird.
reduction you achieve.
And on the right, they're pointing towards the right. So, yeah, we're right borderline. I don't know if I would put a 10 millimeter on this. If you don't mind a wee bit of coma like this, I think it'd be fine. On an 8 inch, 10 inch, 12 inch scope, I think it'll do fine. As I mentioned before earlier, this specific telescope is notorious. I love this scope. Optics are great. Go-tos are dead on. The tracking is really good. It's been always my favorite. I got 2 of those 16 inch. And but when it comes time to put a focal reducer on, oh man, this is a hard-headed mule. Vignetting, comas, you name it, and severely. So it's very difficult to put something that's decent. Personally, I could live with this because I know what the scope does with such aggressive focal reduction. Here's one thing I just noticed. Right-hand side, upper and lower, no vignetting. Upper and lower left side, we do have vignetting. So that's proof that I have a tilt. Okay, like I'm not a square with the actual focal or the actual light cone of the scope, and I know what it's due from. It's my micro focuser. It's slightly crooked, so when we go longer exposure, we'll see that. And on the right hand side, there isn't any, but however, we do have a wee bit of coma on the right hand side. So that counters pretty well what's happening here. If that's the other issue. Using aggressive focal reduction like this, you need to have perfect collimation, literally perfect, and you also need to have a really, really well balanced system. Basically, no camera sagging or tilting on any sides, and that will affect greatly. So if anybody results of that, obviously they are gonna see that quickly. I can't believe the field of view of this. Wow. And that's a 16 inch. So yeah, a little bit of cropping here and there. I think that would be a usable. For live application, I think it's great. I should work more on making sure that the camera is square with the light cone coming out. And this is what the issue that I have. So I would say this is very satisfactory. Wow. This is very, very nice. Let's go back to the 3 seconds. There you go. This is the 3 seconds, and it's not as prominent. Wow, this is a heck of a nice field of view for a 16 inch. Oh, yeah. Okay. So 3.1 seconds. Here we go. No, this is a focal reducer number 2 with 10mm spacer. Okay, watch this. Here it is, and here it is without focal, no, yeah, without, okay, and this is with a 10mm spacer. Here, you can tell the difference by looking at the center of M42, where the trapezium is, and the star cloud that it's lighting up. When you switch to the other one, everything is overexposed, and you're picking up a lot more stars. Yes, it is. Yes, it is heavier. Obviously, a focal reducer of that size will be heavier and will be bigger. It's not too long. I'd say it's T-mount to begin with. So that only fits on T-mount. So that means the DS 2.3 Plus will fit perfectly. The DS 16C will fit perfectly. And the Mallin Cam Universe will fit perfectly. For that matter, it'll fit on any camera that's a T-mount. It'll fit on there. It screws in there. There's threads at the front for filters. I'm not a filter user at all. I just don't believe in them at all. It's plain and simple. I just don't. I rather make the camera work to see colors, objects, and whatever else that you need. I would rather make the camera work than using filters. Filters stop too much light for my taste. Live video is about live video. I want to see everything there is to see. Yeah, the DS 2.3 Plus, you got to remove the brass, not the brass, the stainless steel part at the front, which is a T-mount to C adapter. You basically unscrew that, and under that you have a T-mount. That's correct. That's correct, Jack. You've got it dead on. So we just got to loosen up those two recess Allen screw, and you can take that out, the T to C, and the camera will become T-mount. From what I could see, I got a big getting on the left, not on the right. So right there, this is proof that I do have a tilt in the camera mount, and the lower F ratio you go, the more this is going to be prominent. It'll show more. So we need to get a scope that's really well collimated. That's number one. And number two, it's got to be well centered. You can use that on an 8-inch spin caster grain, providing you have a 2-inch visual back. Or if you don't have a 2-inch visual back, you could use a 2-inch diagonal. You screw at the back, and then you put the camera with that on top. You're good to go. As long as it's 2-inch. This is definitely 2-inch. This is massive lens, multiple lens. I think the winner is this guy here. Holy cow. For large format CCDs and CMOS sensor, definitely this is the winner. Yeah, you would, John. Good idea. Yeah, need a diagonal for clearance if you're gonna, go with No. Will, I posted 2 weeks ago. There was new accessories on our website. I post that on Yahoo Group. I don't waste time on cloudy nights, okay? First of all, I got kicked out, so I can't go there. The only official site that I go on is the Mallin Cam Yahoo Group, because we talk about video astronomy there, not bashing people, as you know. And when something new comes out, I post it there with the link, and people can click on it and they go see what's new. I did say in that post that pending the test of the focal reducers, a new one was coming up. Obviously, I did mention it, and I've been working close to 2 years on this focal reducer. Well, I think we've got it now, and I did say that as soon that the focal reducer will be picked, tested, I will take pictures in the studio and post them on the website, and that will be posted also on the Mallin Cam Yahoo Group. So if you subscribe on there, I think you are, you'll be able to see when it's going to be. It'll be this week coming up. I'll take the time, go to the studio, and just take the proper pictures of it and how it's mounted on different cameras. And we'll put this on the Mallin Cam Yahoo Group, and then a link will be there and then you'll be able to click on it, and it'll bring you to the website. It'll be under the accessories, optical accessories. It'll be under that. It'll be the last one in there. So you'll be able to see it. I'll try to describe everything as much as I can. Of the lenses. It's quite complex, actually. There is also a field flattener in that one, if I'm not mistaken. I got 4 of them here, so I'm going to make sure I don't make mistakes and mix them up. Mind you, not one of them looks the same. The other one that I have to test will definitely going to have some vignetting, severe vignetting, but the field of view is even wider, so I can't use that. This is the limit that I could go. I'm kind of glad that Jack suggested to put the 10 millimeter on there. As usual, Jack always pushed the limits of testing things. And Jack, thank you very much for kicking my backside to go outside and do that. So I think it was worth it. I have never seen M42 in any of my 16-inch that small, that wide field of view. It's beautiful, beautiful to look at. Oh, not the same, Dewey. The Mallin Universe 2-inch focal reducer is a doublet basically, and it's shaped, manufactured a certain way to cover as flat field as possible, and it's going to be mounted very close to the sensor. This guy is different. It's much longer, much heavier, and a lot of glass in it. It's ED glass and among other things. I'll post on the detail on the group when it comes time after I take the pictures of it, and it's going to give you much wider field of view, a lot more. I'd say another 50% more. So from what I'm seeing here, wow, we're getting close to f3.3 here. I would say maybe f4, give or take. For a large sensor, it's extremely good.
In Taiwan,
nobody else in the world has that. I could guarantee you that.
That lenses that he's using in this thing.
Now this one, if I'm not mistaken, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5-lens system, if I'm not mistaken. As I said, I'm going to bring it with me back at the shop, along with the other one, and I did number them on them, so I've got the schematic for them, the blueprints for them that I prepared, and got the lens made, and I think we've got it. Now, would it work on a RC? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm really not sure. I would not use a spacer on an RC simply because you're already at f8. Now, the scope I'm using is a f10, 4064 millimeter focal length. This is super long, narrow field of view and high power, because it's a 16-inch instead of an 8 or a 10. So on an RC, I would not push my luck by using the spacer. I would probably use it straight on the scope through the camera. So I could see here that it's extremely good. Very, very happy with the result here. Actually, Jack, I'm going to put it in my pocket. I know it's not going to get mixed up. It will, but you're going to have to change the spacer, Jack, between the focuser, I assume. From the Universe focal reducer, I only had to change a few turns here on the focuser, the spin capture grain focuser. Not sure. John in Florida, FR2 or the Hyperstar? You're asking that to Jack. Jack's going to have to try this prototype on his VRC10 and or whatever scope that he has, is 8-inch, for example. And he's going to have to switch over the camera to an Hyperstar and see the difference. Obviously, the Hyperstar is going to give you quite the field of view. Hyperstar, the camera hangs at the front. Now, if you go with the focal reducer, it hangs at the back. The camera hangs at the back. So, I mean, you do have some advantages there. It's easy to remove, and go planetary mode, full F10. If you've got an 8-inch or a 10-inch spic acid grain or 11-inch spic acid grain, so it's easy to remove the FR2. The difference is it's much quicker to set up compared to an Hyperstar. Hyperstar, obviously, you'll have to take the lens out, you're going to have to take everything out, and if you want to go to F10 to do planet and lunar. Here, with the FR2, as you call it, which is a good name, by the way, it's easy to remove and switch over to a Barlow or just slap it in your focuser and go. This is pretty neat. Wow. Quite impressed here with the results. Okay, this is live. This is the picture I took. This is without the 10 millimeter. This is with, without and with, without, live, without, and that's the first one. That's the first one with a 10 millimeter. That's the second one without, and that's the second one with a 10 millimeter. Wow, it's a big difference. I'm going to save those pictures and send them by email and run them through, what is it, the site that we get to send pictures and they tell us the field of view and all of that nonsense stuff. I haven't been on that site in a long time. Oh, okay, sounds good, Jack. Thank you. Okay, let's go back. Okay, picture 0001 is the first. It's the first focal reducer without any spacers. Astrometry.net. Thank you, Mark. I need to get back in the swing of things for that. It's too darn cold. So right now what we're looking at is the first focal reducer that I tested earlier, picture number 0001. Okay, has everybody seen it? Picture number 2, I'm going to flip it. I guess I'm going to stick with picture number 1 here. This is the first focal reducer. Okay.
You go to 4.
And this is the second focal reducer. Okay. So let me know when it changes, Jack, because there is a delay, and the delay's caused at my end because I'm nearly on dial-up with this internet crap. It sucks, but out this way, out in the country where I am, it's the only internet that we have. So this is the second focal reducer. Okay. Did you see the changes, Jack? 8-second delay, it's changed. Okay. Now I'm going to go for the second focal reducer, same thing, but with the 10 millimeter spacer. There you go. It's changed. So there is quite a difference. Definitely, this is the way to go. Mm-hmm. And obviously, this is only a 3-second exposure. So, wow.
So I should have a ruler. I can go back and measure.
You couldn't read a ruler tonight anyway.
Yeah.
I left mine inside.
Yeah, this is picture 0005, which is the second focal reducer with the 10 millimeter spacer. So that's the one that's quite much wider.
Well, I can grab these videos and snap images separately afterwards.
Okay. This is so cool. I'm going to go back live. Okay, there we go. We're back live. Now, there are objects down there. I'll have to go out and swing the dome, I think.
He's got a manual operated.
because it's going to be out of view.
Don't
And
track your camera.
there is an object. I don't know if it's going to fit on the 16
It's
inch.
extra.
And it's called the
Extra for that.
Horsehead
Oh, yeah.
Nebula. Folks, I only seen that once in my life with a camera.
And
You could barely make it out at 2
why?
seconds
Since I'm going to be
with the
the
extreme that I
observatory,
was
you know, if I was
using 2 years
robotic
ago.
and out and, you
So
know,
I'm dying to know
then
if
it kind
we're
of
going to
makes
see
sense,
that
but not for,
with no filter, no guiding, no nothing. And this is called IC434, I believe. Can somebody confirm that? IC434. So IC434, I believe it is. The Horsehead Nebula. All right, it is. Okay, folks, I'm going to swing that over there, and